So it all started growing up, going to church every Sunday. It's something that my family always did, and I would say at that point, that faith was really not my own. I believed in God. I believed that there was something else out there. Really hadn't understood and been told, what it was like to have a true relationship with the Lord versus just the kind of religious acts that we all go through. Not only had I not really I heard being preached about that often, but it was something that I hadn't been exposed to, hadn't heard before. And before I knew it, I was off to college, and at that point, I was just leading a life that honestly society said was the norm and whatever felt good to me. And so I graduated college. Not long after that, I got what I thought was a good paying job. And at that point, I was living with the person that I was dating, and I was just doing whatever felt right. And again, what society and what the norm was. But I knew that deep down, there was a little bit of conviction going on. And I knew that the life that I was leading was not the life that the Lord had wanted me to live and had planned for me. I started working at a restaurant with insane 50-hour work weeks and just constantly stressed all the time. Like that amount of stress on someone, especially had just come out of school. This was my first real job, and I just kind of worked my way up, got right into it. And it was wow, this is more than I signed up for. So at that point, you look for that stress relief anywhere that you can that you can find it. So, and it was always oh, I'm working on Sunday. I can't go to church, or I'm so tired when I get home. I'm not gonna open I'm not gonna open the Bible, and things like that. So it was too much for me. So at that point, I moved back to Connecticut, and at that time, my family had started attending New Day. They'd been watching online for a while, and once things with COVID finally settled down, they came back in person. And at that point, I had moved from New York, where I originally was, back home. The first time I came to New Day, it was unlike any other church I had ever been to before. Just a feeling of warmth and comfort, and it was just very inviting the second you walked into the door. And after hearing Mike's preaching and having that expository, it's chapter by chapter, verse by verse explanation, it's simple, and it makes it so we can apply it into our lives every day and lead a life that honors and pleases the Lord. Reconnecting with the Lord and recommitting, my life to the Lord was the aha moment for me. Because I always knew that the life that I was leading wasn't right. Deep down, that there's that conviction, and your conscience is a God-given thing. So I moved out with the person I was living with, and we both dedicated our lives to the Lord. She had never had a relationship with the Lord, didn't know anything about church, and not long after gave her heart to the Lord after coming to New Day. And so that was awesome to see. And I knew that this is something that I really wanted to get involved with. I love that feeling of being a part of something that's bigger than yourself. And just by serving here at New Day, the amount of people that I have met and have influenced my faith and helped me grow my faith has just been absolutely amazing to see. It's easy to go through the religious acts, but to have a relationship with Lord, that's what it's all about.